Good morning. I'm on a really long drive today, and I wanted to talk about something because this was something difficult to address when I was a newer nurse, especially when I was new to hospice. But also, we get it all the time. Families say when they have a family member with any sort of dementia, they want to know why hospice doesn't provide artificial nutrition or IV fluids, or why their loved one doesn't want to eat, or why they're dying, why we can't give them antibiotics. We could, but why we won't keep doing that. We don't want to continue treating someone with recurrent UTIs with dementia. So if someone has Alzheimer's, for example, and when they get to late stage, most likely the thing that's going to take them out is going to be infection or dehydration and lack of food. The reason for that is because, their dementia might start, in the memory part of their brain, but then pretty soon it takes over the whole brain. It moves, it progresses, right? And so when they get to a certain point in that progression of that disease, their body no longer needs that food and nutrition, and they don't desire it because their body's shutting down. And so even if we were to give them, let's say that we were to force them to drink and force them to eat, that memory part of their brain, and even the part that functions and controls that suck, swallow, breathe process, it stops working effectively. And that's how they'll get aspiration pneumonia. Because even if you give them the food, they're not going to do with it what we need to, okay? The other thing is that their immune response is not the same as ours anymore. And so we're having to give them, third and fourth generation antibiotics. And then at that point, it's taking out the other things. Their body is not responding to antibiotics and to infection and threats like ours does. And so that will take them out. And so what it really comes down to when a patient's in comfort care is what is comfortable and what's kind. Because a lot of times it feels like they should be needing these things, but they don't. And so that is why it's a really good idea to be educated on dementia and to be knowing what you want to have done in advance. When you get a dementia diagnosis for your loved one, you want to plan. You want to learn as much as you can and then come up with a plan so that when those things come up, we're not responding out of emotion, but out of something that we set forth with a clear head